children and childlike adults. It's me, Loosey LaDuca, and I'm here for TCC's Virtual Drag Story Hour. I'm so sorry if I'm late. I was a little caught up earlier. But anyway, I'm here with you now, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to read my very favorite book. Some say that the book was written about me, but that could just be conjecture. It is Disney's The Little Mermaid. Oh, it's a wonderful book, and... Oh, sorry, just a minute. I think that's my shell phone. Hello? I'm just reading to the kids. Yeah, of course you can join me for the virtual TCC Drag Queen Story Hour. I would love for you to. All right. Can't wait to see you. All right, bye.
A few moments later.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest joining us today. It's Rocco, the baby shark. Isn't he adorable? Baby shark, do-do-do-do-do, baby shark. I'm not going to make him do the whole thing. That would be too embarrassing. All right. Are you ready to read? I know. Well, he doesn't know how to read yet. Don't mention it. It's a little bit embarrassing. But that's okay, because I'm going to read to him anyways. Now, as I was saying earlier, today I'll be reading Disney's The Little Mermaid. I'm so excited. Now, on the cover here, do we know who this is? Well, of course we do. This is Ariel, the Little Mermaid. They couldn't make her as pretty as I am because they didn't have enough colors. So, now this version of The Little Mermaid was adapted by Barbara Bazaldua. That's a fun last name, isn't it? Bazaldua. Again, not as fun as LaDuca, but still a great last name. Deep under the sea, the merfolk and sea creatures hurried to King Triton's glittering palace. Ariel, the king's youngest daughter, was going to sing in her first concert, and no one wanted to miss it. King Triton was settled on his throne. Sebastian, the court composer, that's him, he's a crab, tapped his baton and instructed the orchestra to begin. But when the time came to introduce Ariel, she wasn't there. I wonder where she could be. Oh, found her. Ariel had forgotten all about the concert. She was miles away, doing what she loved, searching for human treasures with her best friend, Flounder. Ariel and Flounder explored a sunken ship. Have you ever seen anything so wonderful in your entire life? Ariel asked with a gasp as she held up a silver fork. Yeah, it's great, Flounder muttered. Now, let's get out of here. Flounder was always a bit nervous about being far from home. I understand that. It can be a little scary sometimes. Ariel and Flounder swam to the surface to find Scuttle, a silly seagull who claimed to know all about the human world. This is a dinglehopper, Scuttle said, as he examined the fork. Humans use these to straighten their hair. Just then, Ariel remembered the concert. My father's gonna kill me, she cried, and she quickly swam home. I'd be a little afraid if I was her. When King Triton learned that Ariel had missed the concert because she had gone to the surface, he was furious. He believed humans were dangerous. You can never go to the surface again, he commanded. As Ariel sulked and swam away, the king asked Sebastian to keep an eye on her. Sebastian followed Ariel and Flounder to a secret grotto filled with human treasures. I don't see how a world that makes such wonderful things could be bad, Ariel said to Flounder. Then the little crab overheard Ariel say how much she wanted to be part of the human world. Sebastian was horrified. He tried to talk some sense into Ariel, but it was no use. Ariel swam back to the surface as a ship sailed past. Peeking over the side of the ship, she spotted Prince Eric. The little mermaid couldn't take her eyes off the smiling young man. "He's very handsome, isn't he?" she said to Scuttle. And he is very handsome. I wonder if he's single. Suddenly, a fierce storm struck. A lightning bolt set the ship on fire, and a huge wave swept Eric into the sea. Ariel managed to pull the unconscious prince to shore. She sang to comfort him until the sounds of approaching humans made her dive back underwater. Eric only caught a glimpse of Ariel's face, but he knew he would remember her beautiful voice forever. The next day, Ariel swam around in a daze. She was in love. King Triton followed Sebastian to his daughter's grotto. He watched in a rage as Ariel sang to the statue of Eric that had fallen from the ship. "Contact between the human world and the mer world is strictly forbidden," he thundered. When Ariel confessed her love to Eric, Triton used his trident to destroy all of her treasures. That was not very nice. Heartbroken, Ariel went to see Ursula the Sea Witch. Ursula promised to make the little mermaid human in exchange for her voice. But there was a catch. Eric had to kiss Ariel before sunset on the third day. "If not, you'll turn back into a mermaid and belong to me," Ursula cackled. Something like that, probably. Ariel was frightened but determined. She agreed to sign Ursula's contract. Ursula ordered Ariel to sing. The little mermaid's beautiful voice was captured in a seashell. Then her tail disappeared. In its place, she had legs. Quickly, Flounder and Sebastian rushed her to the surface and helped her to shore. Ariel was delighted with her new legs, but Sebastian was worried. Should he tell King Triton? The soft-hearted crab knew Ariel would be miserable without Eric, so he promised to help her win the prince's heart. Flounder and Scuttle said they would help too. They're very good friends. "If you want to be human, you'll have to dress like one," Scuttle explained. He and Sebastian wrapped Ariel in a ragged old sail. Just then, Eric's dog, Max, bounded across the beach. The prince followed close behind. "You look familiar," Eric told Ariel. But when she realized she couldn't speak, he knew that she wasn't the girl with the beautiful voice who had rescued him and sung to him. I really hope they end up together. Eric took Ariel to his palace, where his friendly servants cared for her. They cleaned her up and gave her a lovely gown to wear. Ariel looked beautiful when she entered the great hall to join Eric and Sir Grimsby for dinner. The prince was speechless. She does look beautiful, doesn't she? And that's my favorite color, pink. During dinner, Eric and Grimsby were amazed to see Ariel comb her hair with a fork. They didn't even notice Sebastian peeking out from underneath the platter. Eric thought Ariel was charming and invited her to spend the next day with him. She got a second date. That's great. The following day, Ariel had a wonderful time exploring Eric's kingdom, but there was no kiss. As day turned to night, Eric took Ariel rowing in a lagoon. While they floated, Sebastian, with the help of other animal friends, orchestrated a love song. Prince Eric gazed at Ariel. He leaned closer and closer, his lips almost touching hers, and... the anticipation is killing me. Splash! Ursula's nasty eels, Flotsam and Jetsam, tipped the boat over. Eric and Ariel fell into the water before they could kiss, and there was only one day left. Down in her cavern, Ursula was watching everything in her magic bubble. That was too close, she said. It's time I took matters into my own hands. With a nasty laugh, that probably sounded like this. I'm really good at that. The Sea Witch transformed herself into a beautiful young woman named Vanessa, which, by the way, is such a villain name. Vanessa? Come on, she probably has brown hair. I can tell you right now, Vanessa's a brunette. Around her neck, she wore the seashell that held Ariel's voice. Triton's daughter will be mine, she shrieked. Not a nice lady, kids. Not nice. Did I tell you each that she was brunette, or what? Look at that. Vanessa the villain. Brunette. Meanwhile, Eric was on the palace balcony, wondering if he would ever find the mysterious girl with the beautiful voice. Suddenly, he saw Vanessa and heard her sing with Ariel's voice. The prince instantly fell under her spell. Apparently, he forgot what Ariel looks like. The next morning, Scuttle woke Ariel and congratulated her. He had overheard that Eric was getting married that very day. Things move very quickly in this kingdom. Ariel was ecstatic until she learned the truth. Eric was marrying Vanessa. Ugh. The wedding ship departs at sunset, Eric told Grimsby in a dull, lifeless voice. Ariel cried. Not only had she lost her true love, but she would become Ursula's slave. Once aboard the wedding ship, Ursula laughed wickedly. You know how it sounds, I'm not going to do it again. She thought her plan was working perfectly. She didn't notice Scuttle peeking through the porthole. He saw her true reflection in the mirror and rushed to tell Ariel. The prince is marrying the Sea Witch in disguise, he cried. They had to stop the wedding. Ariel clung to a barrel and Flounder towed her toward the ship. Sebastian raced to find King Triton. Scuttle asked for help from as many friends as he could find. The sun was going down on the third day. They had to move fast. The wedding had already begun, but before Vanessa could say her vows, Scuttle and his friends came to the rescue. Birds yanked Vanessa's icky, brown, ugly hair. Dolphins sprayed her with water. Scuttle pulled the shell necklace from her neck. As the seashell shattered, Ariel's voice flowed back to her. The little mermaid could speak. "Eric?" she said at last. Ursula looks very mad in this. Finally, Eric was released from the spell. "You're the one!" he exclaimed to Ariel. But it was too late. The sun sank beneath the horizon before they could kiss. Ariel turned back into a mermaid, With a flash of lightning, Vanessa transformed into Ursula and pulled Ariel into the sea. King Triton appeared and ordered Ursula to release his daughter. "She's mine now," Ursula said, showing him the signed contract. Of course, I might be willing to make an exchange. To save his daughter, Triton agreed to take Ariel's place as Ursula's servant, which was exactly what the Sea Witch had wanted all along. Ariel watched in horror as her father shriveled away. Ursula grew larger and larger. She used the king's trident to stir the waves into violent whirlpools. "Now I am the ruler of all the ocean," she declared. Luckily, Eric had a plan. He climbed aboard a sunken ship that was rising into the waters and steered its jagged bow through the Sea Witch's heart. That's gonna hurt. With a howl, Ursula disappeared, and her spell was broken. King Triton and all the others she had tricked were free at last. But Ariel was a mermaid and could never live on land with Eric. King Triton watched his daughter gaze longingly toward the shore and her true love. With a sigh, he touched his trident to the water, and Ariel became human once again. King Triton smiled tenderly as he watched Ariel reunite with Prince Eric. And not long afterward, Ariel's friends and family cheered at her wedding. At last, she was part of the human world she loved, and she would live there happily ever after. And that was The Little Mermaid. Did you enjoy that? I really enjoyed reading it to you. Like I said before, that's my favorite story. Thank you so much for joining me, Loosey LaDuca, at TCC's virtual Drag Queen Story Hour. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye!